Hello everybody, my editing computer is so that's why my videos have been delayed. However, I'm going to get creative and do this in one shot with multiple giant terrible setups. So here we go. Welcome to virtual game shows. Hey everybody, we are here to talk about virtual game shows today and how easy they actually are, okay? So I know a lot of us are in distance learning and doing the task of virtual learning or asynchronous learning or synchronous learning or all of the learnings. And one of the things that I realized is we can't let engagement fall by the wayside. No matter how heavy it is and difficult it is, if we can at least keep the kids engaged to the best of our ability, despite these ridiculous circumstances that we're facing, it's a great idea. So I figured out the normal way that I do my virtual video game, or my normal, and keep in mind this is a one shot, so this might be one of my sloppier videos, but I'm going to do my best. Not the way that I can do it in class, because myself, I'm a virtual teacher. If you kind of like take a look, I'm in a little cubicle room here just because of a health thing for myself. So I figured out a way to create the interactivity that I had between classes face to face and do it online. So without further ado, I will show you two ways that I do it in an incredible website full of free resources, because the best way to share things as teachers is free. So shrink myself to the corner. There we go. And here we are. So this is my standard Jeopardy. You guys have seen this. My template is in the Google Drive folder on my website. You can find countless examples. I'm actually going to show you another website that has amazing stuff built into it as well. So this is the standard one that I use. And normally I can project this on a class, or project it on a class. Editing, it's a good thing. I miss it. I wish that I could edit. But anyway, normally I project this on a board for my class, and then I give the kids whiteboards, papers, whatever the case may be. So my brain said, how can I do this virtually over something like a Google Meet or a Zoom or a whatever kind of virtual call you'd like. So here is what I did. So I got my Jeopardy built this way, and of course you can build it in any way, shape, or form that you'd like. Once you have your Jeopardy built, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to hop over to Google Slides and you're going to build a Jeopardy board. Okay, so how did I make this Jeopardy board? That is a template I found. I put a little shape in the corner here. I plunked in score and literally wrote Jeopardy, and then in the corner here I put your personal scoreboard. Okay. Then you're going to need Pear Deck for this. If you are unfamiliar with Pear Deck, let me just give you 30 seconds of it. It is a free Google extension, so if you just go to add-ons and you go to get add-ons, find Pear Deck, it'll be this little cutesy little pear, and you'll click on him and it'll say working at the bottom. You'll install it, and then you're going to get here. Okay, now if you do not, I'll move myself over here, if you do not have Peardeck Premium, you won't be able to do the drawing things. However, you can do this completely the same with just text-based or numbers, which are free. Okay, so don't fear. But if I remember, and I hope I do, and comment if I didn't. Okay, in the comments below or the description of the video, I put a code that will give you 3 months of free Peardeck Premium. So feel free to use that. Okay. So what do? You click on the type of interactivity you want. I want kids to be able to draw, because I want them to be able to write, draw, scribble, whatever it is they want to do for their answers. Of course, if you don't have premium, you can just use text. Okay. So to make your slide interactive, you simply just click. So again, you go to add-ons, you get Pear Deck. When Pear Deck is installed, you click it. It'll load this little side window over here. And you'll click on text if you have the basic version, and I'd recommend draw if you have the premium. This is going to give the kids the ability to have a virtual scoreboard. This is the only slide you need, okay? You need nothing else. Once that is done, you're going to hit Start Lesson. And when you hit Start Lesson, Pear Deck is going to load, and what Pear Deck does, if you're unfamiliar, is it creates an online environment for the kids to log into, and then you can see everything that they're doing in real time, i.e. track their score, track their answers privately, or make certain answers public. Okay, and again, I got a tutorial way back when of Pear Deck, and I need to make a updated one because Pear Deck has made a lot of changes, including the Google incorporation that they have now. And mine used to be a standalone from Peardeck.com. So a little bit of an update, but the general idea from my previous tutorials does still work. So here I am with my scoreboard, and my kids log in. So again, if you're new to Pear Deck, all kids do, any internet connected device, does not matter at all. They go to joinpd.com, they punch in these lovely little letters, which of course is a lesson on its own. Fragment submarines honestly pursue quick carrots. Well, what do we have? We have an adjective, we have a noun, we have an adverb, we have a, what is this, pursue verb, we have an adjective, and we have a noun. So they actually is a little bit of a lesson, and depending on the letter and where it is in the 5 or 6 letter sequence, it actually produces a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. So cool little lesson for kids. Once it's all said and done, what you do as a teacher, and I'm not going to do it because I have it on another browser, is you're going to go to peardeck.com/dash. And when you do that, it's going to take you to something that is going to look, and I'm going to move my camera here because I don't have the ability to edit this and make it look smooth. I have a second monitor hooked up, and let me just pull this, ignore all of the terribleness that is occurring right now. There we go. Looking at all the terrible things, don't get motion sickness. And what I did was, I have a 2-monitor setup. So you don't need 2 monitors. You can do this exclusively with one. There's my giant, disgusting setup here. And then I have my second monitor. Normally this is all on one desk, but I needed wired internet. So what a mess. Education. So the idea here is you're running it on one and you're watching the scores on another. Now, of course, you do not need to do this. Simply, you can just switch tabs. But if you have a second monitor, it makes it a bit easier. So from the dash, you're going to say, take me to the dashboard when it pops up. And literally, what this is going to allow us to do is you are going to see in real time what kids are doing. It's going to be their personal scoreboard, and only you can see this. And you can do it in one of 2 ways. You can do it a grid layout where you see all of the students and you can see underneath. You can actually provide feedback right here by clicking. Oh my gosh, you can't see that at all. Let me see if I can make it closer. 1 second. Yoink. There we go. So you can go all the way over here, and you can see at the bottom, you see the name, you see what they're doing, and all of that kind of stuff. And then you can actually do things like leave feedback for them, but you see what they're answering in real time. And you can see a big version of it, like this, and you can scroll if you have multiple students. But if you have a ton of students, I use the grid view because it'll adjust the grid size based on the amount of kids. Give me 1 quick second to show you. Now, I'm going to try to do this so it makes sense. What I do is I then begin a meet. So let me just put my camera back, of course. There we go, there's me. So what I do is I start a Google Meet and I share it with the kids, and the kids join. And what I do is I share my questions. So I just simply go to my Jeopardy board and I run this, and through the Google Meet, I share it so that they can see the questions, okay? For FOIP and reasons, I didn't record me doing one live because kids had their cameras on and stuff. But what it would be a Google Meet, and you click on Present a window or a tab, depending on how you have it set up, and then you will share the running version like that, where you run the PowerPoint, okay? Or the Google slide, or whatever it is you are choosing to use. Let me just X that out. So, that being said, oof, what a disaster this video is. It's so crazy. Gamification. So, the idea here now is very simple. Kids will run the slideshow, and they'll get to this, and they'll pick a question. So you pick a question. So let's say it was cell structures for 100. I am the kitchen of the cell. So now what the kids do, and I will show you, I am kid on any device. It does not matter what the device is, okay? It is whatever you see fit, okay? It can be Chromebook, it can be MacBook, it can be internet, cell phone, anything. If it connects to the internet, it connects to Peardeck. So what is the kitchen of the cell? So now on my device, what you will see is kids have the same interactive slide here because this is Peardeck. So now I am going to answer. I'm going to type in some text, and I'm going to guess wrong. I'm going to say nucleus. Boom. And it's going to pop in. Now watch. There is my answer right there in real time. Okay? This allows kids to have a virtual scoreboard that you track. You see their answers. You share the board. It is exactly the same way you would run your Jeopardy in class, or any review game really of any sort that you'd like to do, except what's happening is the whiteboards or the paper or the things that they would be writing on are visual all to you. So after the question, what I do is, because again, you can tell kids when their answers are right because they're not beside them being like, hey, he said my answer's right, write it down. What you can turn around really quickly to do is you can say, okay, yeah, Scott, you got it right, good job, add your points, and then the kids keep track of their own scores right here. If you have, I guess I should, the kids keep track of their scores right here by simply going into the app and then adjusting the little score that you have set right there. So that is how you can use Jeopardy, Google Meet, PowerPoint, and Pear Deck and App Smash into a live virtual game show. And trust me, I've done this with a few classes. Kids ate this up like crazy because you see kids learning, you can provide feedback, you can give individual answers, you can highlight the answers, you can do a bunch of stuff in real time, and kids adored it. I'm actually probably going to do this Jeopardy in the future this way because it allows me to see everything in real time and know if kids are cheating or peeking at things or whatever you're worried about as a teacher. I can see everything, and it's awesome. Now again, you can do all kinds of questions. You can have them draw stuff, you can have them write stuff, you can have them answer numerically, or if you don't have the premium, you can just have them type in answers and type in their score. So it can be as free-flowing or as restrictive as your school or your pocketbook or whatever dictates, okay? So that's the awesome part about it. It's when I shared this, people were like, oh my gosh, how did you do this? So again, quick summation, okay? Which I guess I could do the whole video in 30 seconds. Numero uno, you create your PowerPoint game show or Google Slide game show, whatever it is you choose. I would recommend PowerPoint so that you can run your Google Slide Pear Deck. Number two, you go to Google Slides, which is why I recommend PowerPoint. You create your template right here, which is nothing more than a template I found, score, personal scoreboard. You don't have to worry about adding names. Pear Deck does this for you. You go to add-ons, get Pear Deck, plop it in here, click on the Pear Deck add-on. This will load on the side, and now you want to add the interactive component. The interactive component can be text or draw, okay, whatever it is you choose. If you're a geography teacher, you can even use draggables and have kids like put things for maps and stuff. But anyway, that's a whole other video. So premium, I would recommend draw so kids have full creative control. If you don't have premium and the basics, you can still use text. Still works totally fine in this case. You hit start. When you hit start, it's going to give you this. Kids go to joinpd.com, punch in the code, they join in. Now that you have the game show up and the kids joined in, you, on a separate device, you can even use your phone, another Chromebook, another monitor, or a multiple tabs, it doesn't matter. You go to peardeck.com/dash. When you do that, you're going to get something called Take Me to the Dashboard, follow the steps, and then that is where you get this, which allows you to see the kids in real time. And again, this can be done on a separate monitor or a separate tab if you choose, and you would literally flip between the tabs. Totally the same thing. I just have a multiple monitors where I'm set up, so I use that, obviously in a better looking way than this. And then when that is said and done, you simply go to Google Meet. You go into Google Meet, you start your meet, and you present the slideshow. This way, if I'm a kid, I have my scoreboard on my device, whatever device I want. I can see in the Google Meet the slideshow of the questions, and I can answer it and interact with it in real time. Create the game, create the scoreboard, share the virtual game in the Meet, and you are laughing your way all the way to total student engagement. More importantly, Jeopardy runs its course, and I am totally 1000% aware of that. Jeopardy, if you do it a bunch of times throughout the year, you're gonna run into the problem of, we're doing Jeopardy again. So I went searching, and ladies and gentlemen, I found the best website in the history of websites. Everybody needs to go to this website here. I'll put it in the description. rusnikcreative.com/game shows, which is his PowerPoint games. Now listen, when I say PowerPoint games, these are not your typical PowerPoint games. These are built and coded in macros, which is, I don't even begin to tell you how incredible it is. I'm going to show you Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but he has so many versions, and they are free. He runs on donation, so if you got a couple extra bucks, chuck him a donation. I have, it is amazing. He knows what he is doing. He estimates that each one of these games would retail for about 50 bucks based on what it does, and he gives them all for free because he's awesome, okay? So you teach fifth graders, boom, literally recreate the game. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? And everything is templated. You need to know nothing about how it runs. It's absolutely incredible. So he's got a bunch of these here. I'll load. He's got even some kind of funny ones like a Shakespearean insult generator. So if you do Shakespeare or higher level English, this is a fantastic one. But he's got all the classic games, all kinds of different things that he's created on his own. Who remembers the mole? I remember the mole. And then he's got, of course, the templates that you use. And look at this. This is brand new, actually. Plinko was not here the last time I logged in. So he is still up and creating all of the most amazing things that I've ever seen. And I can't stress enough how incredible this guy's stuff is. And the fact that it's free is like this. Watch this. This is how I think about it. It's amazing. To me, it is amazing that it is free. So thank you, Mr. Who are you? You are Mike. Mike, you are amazing, okay? So I'm going to show you Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and how I do it, and kids love it, okay? So you download Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and when you load it, it's going to look uber complicated. It's going to have 158 slides, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what do I do with that? Super simple. Every game that he's created explains how it's played. You get to play it, and then it explains how it works. Now, here is why this is genius. Everything is customizable, and he tells you what to customize and what not to customize so that you don't actually break the actual content of the game, okay? And that's what's most important. So if you don't want to play for $1 million, you want to play for $1 trillion, change it. You want to start at $1 and only play for $100, you do whatever you want. You want to change the denomination? Sure. You do whatever you want. It is so cool, okay? Then he explains how the game works, which I'll let you read. I don't ever do fastest finger, just as I skip that and I go right into the questions. But of course, he has the bio about how to do it. So skip ahead. Everything is categorized here, which is amazing. So I don't want to do fastest finger. So yep, I don't want to pause my video. Oop, nope, okay, I can't do it. I can't do it, people. It's too risky. Anyway, you can shrink that. I just can't shrink it because it's going to pause my video because Loom runs on the left here. So I'm going to skip that portion, and then I'm going to go to game number 1. So you would broadcast. So how do you do this with kids? Well, all you do is you create a Google Meet, and you have the kids compete against you. You act as the game show host, where you go through the questions and antagonize and challenge, do all the fun things as a game show host would do. You just use a Google Meet or a Zoom, and you share this running game by clicking it and then running it, okay? So that's my second monitor there. That's the monitor that I would share. I use the Google Meet chat, and I antagonize and battle the kids and have a lot of fun. Now, the other incredible thing about this is that he has built in every sound, every ding, bell, whistle, music from the game show. So it is, when I say it is authentic, it is like authentic to the max, like lawsuit authentic, which of course he's not getting a lawsuit because he's not making any money out of this, but it is like to the T mirrors the game shows that he has created, okay, or that he is referencing. So if you can share the audio, do so, because it is just like, guys, it is amazing stuff. So then you look and you're like, oh, how do I make these questions? So again, watch how incredible this man is. Using macro coding, you download this. okay? And if you look, this is game number 1 right here. So he says, what is your question? What is the correct answer? What are the options? And you punch it in for your 15 questions. So you can create 15 different versions in one template and then forget it, set it and forget it, right? Like the old infomercials, and you never have to touch it again. So when you go into the PowerPoint to simply upload your questions, you click here, run the slideshow, and click on import questions. It will say what file, excuse me. I'm just gonna sanitize some stuff, okay? So what is happening is if you need the template, you just download it, then you fill it in as I just showed you, literally question, correct answer, make sure you know, letters only. He has everything. It's idiot proof. Like, you just follow what he says, okay? And I'm an idiot, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. So then you go import, so it'll say what's the file. You import the Excel spreadsheet that has your templates, and literally you go here, you change the game to the number you want, okay? That's what this is like. There's an editable feature here. So if I want game number 3, because if I scroll down, game number 3 is my grade 7 science one that I did. I want to run game number 3. I just go here and I change it to game number 3. When I run, I click this. Everything is an interactive button, so you control it as the game show host. And then you work your way through, okay, the question. So that's fastest finger. We'll skip that. So we go here. So question number 1. What system of rule was used in medieval times? Comment below if you know it. Buddhism, feudalism, Christianity, or Muslim. So then you look, and of course the answer is B, feudalism. So the kids would select it. You would click it as the game show host. They would be watching. He even has the built-in lifelines. So we have 50-50, ask the audience, and phone a friend. So 50-50 eliminates 2, automatically done. You don't have to do it. Ask the audience polls and produces what the audience thinks. This is all done through coding, okay, which is really, really cool. So it can direct kids the right way or the wrong way, gives them great thinking points. And then phone a friend. What I do is I say your friend is Google, and when the timer pops up, you have 30 seconds in which to Google anything you want, and then you have to shut it down. And you just go on the honesty policy. And most kids are pretty honest when it comes to this, because you can tell if they're doing stuff. So when you run this, you run your meet, you broadcast the playing of the game, you do the game show stuff, you control the show, and just sit back and let the kids talk and discuss. This is the ultimate in a collaborative game, because you'll see kids, yeah, it's feudalism, then someone will come in, I thought it was Christianity, and then they'll debate, they'll talk, they'll come to a consensus, you bug them, are you sure it's feudalism, blah, 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 you have all the fun in the world, and then you have it so that the kids are ready and rocking to go, okay? I cannot stress enough how amazing this website is. You can have so much fun with this. You can link words with Linguo. You can do Wheel of Fortune for spelling if you wanted. Chain reaction, again, pretty template, there it is. And his is way better than the one I use. His, again, is all coded and like super cool, and I'm probably going to update my template to his in the future. And again, so many incredible resources, and it's free. And that's the thing that's amazing. It is free. So, I hope you found that helpful. I know the video is a mess. I know that I'm talking a mile a minute. I know that it may have not been the greatest thing that I've created, but I feel like I need to get content out of there because I'm seeing the burnout in teachers doing this online stuff. And I'm feeling it on certain days, and I'm doing the best that I can to figure out the most authentic way to make an experience good for kids, even if we are doing it in the virtual environment. So that is how you do virtual game shows with virtual scoreboards, live and in real time, and that is how you can do virtual game shows through the incredible website of Rusnik Creative. Thank you so much, Mike from Rusnik Creative. You are a gem for creating these things. If you have any questions, as per usual, feel free to let me know. Like, subscribe, I would appreciate that. I want to get to 5,000 followers by the end of my life. Okay, that would be awesome. So please share this with virtual teachers, with regular teachers, with parents who are struggling with online learning at home. Whatever the case may be, this is free, this is fun, this is a great way to captivate kids and to test and reinforce learning, and I hope you found it helpful in the crazy chaos that is my new video format until I can get a new laptop.